Dave Filoni is now an executive creative director over there at Lucasfilm, and now we're going to talk about what that means and if this is important.
Have you seen Star Wars?
So I'm still feeling a little under the weather, but I still wanted to talk about this news that came out the past 2 days that everyone was kind of losing their minds over. It's funny how narratives are formed in the Star Wars fandom over something small like this. Dave Filoni, we found out that he is now the executive creative director at Lucasfilm, and that's not a title that only he holds, but he's now kind of among some of the most renowned over there at Lucasfilm. The only other two people that I know who have this position are Doug Chiang, the guy who's basically been doing the conceptual art and all that stuff for Lucasfilm since the 90s. I mean, he's been working with them since the prequels and even before then. Then we have John Knoll, who is a genius of himself. I mean, he and his brother invented Photoshop, and he is also a executive creative director at Lucasfilm. He's been in charge of ILM for very, very many years, and was a big part of the CGI in the prequel trilogy. Well, now Dave Filoni is among those few, and I'm happy for him. I think a lot of us are very proud. And of course, almost immediately, you have these weird narratives that are formed around this. Like, this is something that's huge. People are like, oh, he's gonna replace Kathleen Kennedy now. The proof's in the pudding. He's getting promoted. Look, if I get promoted at Amazon, let's say I'm working at Amazon and I become the central financial officer for the entire company, I'm not gonna go, hey guys, I'm replacing Jeff Bezos next. You better watch out. Like, no, he's still clearly running the company, and so is Kathleen Kennedy. She's still gonna be president of Lucasfilm. And I know I've even heard stuff about her possibly leaving later this year if she wanted to, but honestly, at the stage we're in right now, it doesn't seem like Kathleen's going anywhere, and she's the one who likely gave Dave this promotion. Also, another thing that we learned was a year ago, this is when this happened. Dave Filoni has been at this title for some time, and it likely doesn't have that much of a consequence in terms of what he is allowed to do over there at Lucasfilm. If anything, it's likely just a pay bump for him, but also a formality, considering he's been the supervising director for like the Rebels series and the Clone Wars series, and now with the Bad Batch, he's an executive producer. So to me, this promotion seems more of a formality of, hey, you were already doing all the functions of this job. Why don't we just give you the benefits of said job and give you the title for it as well? And if anything, this is also going to give him more creative freedom and leeway in the ability to pitch stories. Don't forget, John Knoll, I think, is the guy who pitched Rogue One to the higher-ups at Lucasfilm, and he has the exact same title now that Dave Filoni has. So it seems like they're going to get a lot more of a voice in general. So if Dave Filoni comes up to Kathleen Kennedy or other people over there at Lucasfilm Story Group and the executives over there and say, hey, I want to make a movie based on Ahsoka, or I want to make a movie based on this, or I want to direct a trilogy, now with the position he's in and also the experience he's had with Star Wars, they're going to go, okay, we'll consider that, and then you're likely going to get it. Fans are happy about this because Dave Filoni is well loved in the Star Wars fandom. He's very good at understanding the certain elements of Star Wars that we always need. I mean, he's always having some Western standoff that you would see in an Old West movie in his Star Wars stories, and it works. He's good at showing us the adventures of Star Wars, the childness aspect of Star Wars, that this does appeal to kids, but we saw with the Clone Wars he can also appeal to a little bit of an older and slightly darker tone of an audience, and I think it works really well for someone like him. So I'm excited to see his progression over there at Lucasfilm, and happy to hear that he's pretty much just going to stay locked down there, likely for the next 10 to 15 years. I really don't see Dave Filoni wanting to or going anywhere outside of Lucasfilm for quite some time, and I'm proud of the work that he's done, and I'm excited to see what he can do with this new title going forward. I mean, the fact that he is at the exact same position as John Knoll and Doug Chiang are, despite the fact that they have been involved in Star Wars, I think 10 or more years than Dave Filoni has, speaks to how valuable he is as an asset to that company. I mean, he started with the Clone Wars just as a storyboard artist. He became the supervising director of it, the writer, the director of the actual movie. Then he gets Star Wars Rebels. And whenever Lucasfilm was bought out by Disney, Kathleen Kennedy sat him down and asked, hey, what do you want to do with this company? Where are you going to go? What do you want your future to be in Star Wars? And he said, okay, I'm interested in live action. she put him into live action. She let him learn, basically have a Star Wars film school with the sequel trilogy, and she gave him The Mandalorian. When Jon Favreau was talking to Kathleen Kennedy about it, she specifically said, hey, you got to add Dave into this. He's going to be writing one of the episodes. I want him to direct one of the episodes. He did, and it was great. And now he has more control over season 2, and it seems like Kathleen Kennedy and maybe other people at Disney or Lucasfilm were not only extremely happy with Dave Filoni's work, but could see that he is an integral part to this story of Star Wars going forward. So now they're giving him another promotion, and even though it's a year ago, it's nice to kind of have that confirmation as a fandom of, all right, we have faith in Dave Filoni, but also Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy and all these other people have faith in Dave Filoni. And I think it's a very good sign for Star Wars going forward, giving your most valuable asset at the moment, and I don't think he's the most valuable, but a lot of fans would say he is, giving him more power and more leeway is a big deal. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think about Dave Filoni getting this promotion? I know it was a year ago, but it just hit the airwaves this past week. Do you think this is good news? Do you think he's going to replace Kathleen Kennedy, even though he probably won't? What do you think about this promotion? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like or a comment because it does about the channel. If you enjoy Star Wars Only, that's me. Become an Only fan and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on the latest news in Star Wars. I'm Star Wars Only. I'm sick as a dog, but hopefully I'll be better by the next time you hear me. I'll see you all next time, and may the Force be with you always.